Hello everybody and welcome to this off-the-cuff video which I'm making in a slightly different format because I found an old GoPro camera I had in one of my technology bags and never actually used it. It's like a Hero 3 which I bought years ago when it first came out, so it probably cost me absolutely ridiculous amount of money, and I think I used it once. I think I bought it at the time as an attempt to perhaps get into making my YouTube channel back then, and it never happened. I just didn't find the video quality to really work. Eventually I did find a system that worked for me, and I thought I'd give you all a little update on what I've been up to, and also hoping that everyone is doing well. So join me in this video as I do a little collection slash stash video on what I'm working on at the moment, what I've got on the shelf, and also just sort of summing up what's going on really. Hi, I'm Matt and you're watching Model Minutes. So today is the 4th of April 2020. The UK has been in coronavirus lockdown for nearly 2 weeks now. Coronavirus is a disease which has been spread globally. It's a global pandemic, and the UK's reaction is to lock down the country for the first 3 weeks and assess what's going on after that. The only people who are allowed to go to work are key workers, and because of the nature of my job I've still had to go into work, but it's been on like less hours, so I've not been in work as much, but I've still had to go to work. You're allowed out for exercise once a day, and you are allowed to go to the shops, as in, you know, like a supermarket, to buy food and medicine, but all other shops like McDonald's, toy shops, that sort of thing, model shops in particular, have been closed. So unfortunately that means that if I run out of something such as the Tamiya extra thin cement, which I love but have an absolutely tiny amount of it left, it means I can't really get any. Online orders are still possible, but again, not guaranteed. So I tried to get a proper camera for streaming, which had been recommended to me before this all happened, and it was going to be like 60 quid for one. Now they're either out of stock or ridiculously expensive, like £100. So I'm going to have to look into that after all of this. But what people have asked to see recently are videos or hints of what I've got in the stash, and also what I've got in the collection. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you what's on my shelf. So up here on the shelf we've got the P51 Mr. Craft kit, and what is absolutely surprising about that one is that no one has actually pointed out that when I glued on the landing gear legs, I actually glued them on the wrong way around. So the sort of suspension springs should be facing the other way. But irregardless, it's there now and I'm not changing it. It's on one of the display bases that I made, and it's sort of just sitting there by itself. Over here at the front I've got the Panzer, I can always say this wrong if you've seen the unboxing video, Panzer Kampfwagen 2 in 1/76 scale from Revell, which is a matchbox reboxing, and that's a really good kit and I really enjoyed it. It comes with the little display base, but I did a few extra things to it. Moving on, we've got the Sherman from Airfix, which is a nice little kit, and then behind that we've got the Zvezda 1/100 scale M3 Stuart. There are behind that a Hobby Boss F2A, and then I think this is like an AP57 or something like that. It's a trainer aircraft which was sent to me by a magazine to do a review on, and I just never got around to making a video on it, but the review was written like 2 years ago, so it should be out there somewhere by now. Then next here we've got the Spitfire with the battle damage. I'm actually planning on doing something with that in the future, so stay tuned. I've got the MiG-21, which is a frog kit, and that's on another bit of display base I made. Up at the back I've got the Jedi Starfighter, that's Obi-Wan's one. It's an ETA Actis 2, I think. HMS Victory, but it's been a bit in the wars. It's missing one of the rear sails, and also the flags have fallen off since because they were just decals, and it's looking pretty old now. I could do with a new one and doing it up. That's the pilot from the Mirage that I built, and he's just sitting there. And I've got the Zvezda Battle over there. On the next shelf up I've just got my first ever model kit, because I actually need to sort that shelf out and make it look proper, and also the Mirage 3C, which I quite enjoyed doing, and I managed to do quite a good job of that, I think. Some people disagree, but hey, you know, they're always going to do that. I do have some other kits with me at the moment which are sort of in storage. I just haven't put them on display yet. You'll notice that I put my sprues that I'm working on the corkboard behind me, so that's like a visual reminder of what I'm doing. So let's just show you some of the other kits under my light arch that I've finished recently. So first up is the Revell Cadet, or the Stearman Cadet. I'm quite pleased with this one. The weathering's a little bit thick in places and thin in others, but the decals went on alright. So the yellow's been quite good to do, and I managed to get rigging on that one, and there should be a build video coming out on that sometime soon. Up next we've got the Revell US Air Force X-Wing, which I have recently released on my channel, and I really enjoyed building this one. It was a nice tester before I did my Mirage, and it's really something quite interesting that I can put on my shelf when I finally get around to sorting that out. The Airfix Folland Nut Yellowjack kit, this is a nice one to do. Quite good to do in the yellow, but I think I would spray it like I sprayed this one next time, because as you can see that yellow looks a lot better than that yellow. The Airfix BF109G6, but as you can see it's been in the wars in storage. The aerial has snapped off, which is a shame, but this was a nice little kit to build, and the landing gear legs, as some people have said, should actually be sprayed out, and I've just broken that off, so it should be bent out a little bit more. I can fix that, it's not too hard to do. And you can see the tail wheel has come off as well, so this one has a few repairs that need doing. I just need to glue those things back on. Speaking of repairs, here is the F4U Corsair. It's a bit dusty, which I did as part of a collaboration with Shuttle Factory. But as you can see, it's been in the wars as well. It's got a scuff on the top of the nose where the paint's been rubbed off, and the prop has fallen off as well, which is a bit of a shame. But generally it's okay. It just needs those things found and repairing. Here we've got the Airfix Bolt and Paw Defiant, and this one's okay. It's a bit dusty. The landing gear has crumpled under the weight of the aircraft, or perhaps my cat sat on it, because I have a cat at home and he likes to sit on things on shelves, so he's probably sat on that and crumpled it. The only thing I think that's come off of this is the sort of pitot tube which is in the wing, so that should be in my box somewhere. Oh. So here we've got something that will be coming soon. It's the Airfix LCVP, and this is a really nice kit to build. I thoroughly enjoyed building this one, and it builds up really well. As you can see, the details on this are quite well done, and I even tried to do some weathering with this one, so stay tuned to see this one on my channel. Hopefully I'll get a build video on that soon. And then the last thing is this Hobby Boss i400 submarine, and as you can see the only thing that's fallen off is the aeroplane. The aeroplane I have got is here. There's the aeroplane. It just needs gluing back on, but these were all put into like a storage box, and unfortunately they didn't really survive as I was moving them around. But I bet the one thing you want to see at the moment is what I've been working on. So what I've been working on is this, and it's the Revell Lancaster B1/3 in 1/72 scale. Because I've had a bit more time to do some more modelling recently, I thought I'd get stuck into something a bit bigger. You can see that the bomb bay's been done. I've put the landing gear down, and I'm working on like the engine area. There you can see that, I hope. Done the internal areas as well. There's still a lot to do on this one, but hopefully I should be able to get it finished soon, and those are the sprues that are on the wall behind me. So the last thing we're going to take a quick look at is the state of my stash, and as you can see I've got a lot of stuff in here. I've got more paints, I've got a Devotine D520 from Mr. Craft, I've got an IL-2, I've got the V2, the Centenary set, I've got a load of kits in that box down there. I've got the box from the Frog MiG-21, that's empty now. This helicopter, which was part of Christmas gifts, and I've got all of this stuff here as well. Got some Sky Raiders down there. I've got another bag of kits. I've got this B17, which I would like to make a start on soon, but I need to get the Lancaster out of the way first. I've got another box of stuff here. I have got quite a lot to be getting on with in my time in lockdown. What have you got on the bench at the moment? What is it you've decided to work on, if indeed you've got some time off as well? And what do you think of my things at the moment? Obviously, I've got a lot of things that need fixing because I haven't looked after them very well. But once I've fixed them, they should be going up on my shelf. Let me know in the comments below if you've decided to pick up modelling as a new hobby in this testing time, and if, perhaps my videos have been helpful at all. As always, honourable mention to my patrons over on Patreon. Any support there goes straight back into helping the channel, by buying models, paints, kits and things like that, and hopefully it should go into buying the streaming cameras as well when I get the chance to do them. So a massive thank you to you guys. You can connect with me on social media. I'm on Discord, Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. All that's left to say is a massive thank you to you for watching this video. If you've made it this far, please click that like button and the subscribe button as well to be notified of any new videos. And as always, remain indoors, stay healthy, and I'll see you all on the workbench again next time.